him recently. Don't know how fun he was and how he was always so positive, although Mr. Ralph would beg to differ when they were playing games.
Yeah, he used to cuss like hell.
Yeah. Well, he always got angry, and I mean, we could talk about the time that my Aunt Barbara made the most beautiful boutonniere when they were doing all the florist stuff, and it was in a hurry, and the customer was out there, and he came and he took it out of her hand, and he said, "You know what I think of this?" Boom! Boom!
You still had that temper, huh?
Right outside! Right. Where those guys? Where are they? Oh, right. Yeah, Jason and Shelley might remember that, Uncle Marty. But, I mean, he was just so fun. Every day was an adventure with him. When Thanksgiving in the 70s, when I-95 opened, there was a brand new tunnel. After working all day, because Thanksgivings were really busy back then, all he did was spend 3 hours ferrying people back and forth through the tunnel, which is only about 3 miles from Walter Gardens, saying, "You guys will never get a chance to ride in the tunnel the very first day it's open again." You know? We'd be sitting outside the snowball stand, and a whole bunch of fire trucks would drive by, and he'd be like, "Let's get in the car and see where the fire is." I mean, he was just so fun. And I just think of all the, oh my gosh, he did have a temper. My cousin, I remember my cousin Jason introduced him to his wife, Colleen, before they were married. And we were sitting in my grandmother's kitchen in Cape May, and Jason told all these stories about when we were little. He told about when Uncle Phil took us fishing, and we all got our lines caught in the rocks, and he got mad, and then we drank all the Cokes, and he came up and had nothing to drink, and he was all wet. And he beat us all and took us home. And then Uncle Phil bought this little rowboat, and he wanted us all to get in it right before we went to Wildwood, and all the moms said, "Don't get your shoes wet, don't get your shoes wet." And as we took our little ride and were coming back in, he was like, "Okay, we're almost to the shore." We all jumped out and ran through the water to the shore. And he beat us all and beat us all. And then my dad used to only take me out to breakfast every morning because no one else got up early enough. But one time, all the cousins got up early, so we loaded us all in the car. We used to ride our bikes. We went to a different restaurant, and Shelley spilled her hot chocolate, and he beat us all, and we all And at that point, Colleen cut my cousin Jason off and said, "Uncle Phil sounds horrible. Every story you've told ends with everybody getting beaten and crying." And Jason said, "But Uncle Phil is my favorite uncle." And I think even though anyone who is on the end of his fury agrees, he's your favorite uncle. So, let's see. I can't even go over a list of things that he made me, things that he did for me. He made me stilts. One year I spent $48. Everything I saved $50 for vacation, and I played that carnival game where it's got 10. I doubt they have it anymore. It's got 10 discs, and they're very light, and you try to completely cover a red dot. And if you can completely cover it, you win a giant prize, and it's really hard. I spent 48 out of my $50, and I was probably 8. And he's looking at it the whole time. When we got home, he made one. And he said, "I think the weight's right on the discs, and I know the size is right because I measured it on the red dot. So you practice all winter, and when you go back in the spring, you can win that big tiger or whatever it was." And I did. I practiced all winter. And he made me stilts, and I had inline skates in the 70s before anyone even heard of what they were. I mean, he just always was doing something fun. So, this is the part that's going to be really sad. The thing that's the biggest deal is I got a cat when I was 3. So this is the best lesson he ever taught me. When I was 3, I got this cat. And when I was about 4, my cat got into a big fight. And I really remember this happening. Because she went away for a couple days at a time. She came up and she was really a disaster, and she was all bleeding, and my mom had to take her to the vet. And they shaved her, like, all up here, all her stomach, and she was shaved, and her face was all beat up, and she had these stitches stitches all through her, and they weren't the nice little stitches that they do now. They were horrible stitches. So, of course, I did what any 4-year-old was going to do at 9 o'clock at night, and I said, put that cat in the basement. I'm not sleeping with that cat. And anyone who knows Phil, he never was home. He always went back out to work after dinner to cut wood in the winter and cut grass in the summer and do anything else in the spring. And he came home around 10 or 11 and he woke me up. And he said, listen, why's your cat down the basement? I said, well, Morris is looking pretty scary. I don't really want her sleeping with me in my bed. And he said, well, that's your cat. And when you got that cat, you took a responsibility for it. And when something needs you the most, you can't shut it away. So you have to go get your cat, bring her back up and put her in bed with you. And I did. So, yeah, I let her sleep with me all the time, so don't worry. And he was very compassionate. So, in a sweeping generalization of like stereotypes and stuff, he wasn't very compassionate. But I mean, you know, we never passed a hitchhiker that he didn't pick up, you know? I mean, he just would help anybody. I know people always say that, but it's true for him. I mean, I can't tell you the crazy cast of characters that were constantly living with us, staying with us, coming through the door, working for him, you know. It was just never a dull moment. And then he got to West Virginia and he had so much fun there. I know everybody who talked to him, he was always texting the whole morning on the porch, everything he was doing. So I'm really glad he got to spend some time with us up there. And I definitely, the last thing I want to say, and anyone can share a memory if they want, my Uncle Ron wanted to tell everybody that he just wanted to he couldn't make it because he's really sick. And he's been sick for years and years, but he said he wanted to just tell everybody that Phil was like the best brother ever and treated him really good all these years. And he just wanted everybody to know that he was really going to miss him. I know we all are. So the thing that makes me sad is I didn't bring my flask today. And even though Phil did not drink, he was a big proponent of my drinking. He got me my first fake ID. So I could go see a band at Straps. I'm sure some of you have heard of Straps. It was Denise Kapalchik. And not only could I not spell Kapalchik, Denise was 5 feet tall. I said, Phil, they're never going to let me in with this ID. He's like, sure they will. They're not going to look at the height. But they did let me in. I used that ID for years. Why was I bringing that up? He just wait. Oh, that's it. So now I have this flask, and every time we go to West Virginia, and we go to, if anyone got his text, the cash bash and the gun bash, he loved those. But they don't have liquor, so I would always bring my flask. I would always just fill it up, and he would stand over me, and he'd be like, it's getting full, it's getting full, it's getting full. After like the 15th time we did this, all of a sudden he goes, I have an idea after these last 5 years. I said, what? He goes, let's just fill it up with water, pour the water into a measuring cup, and then we'll pour the liquor into a measuring cup. So that's another thing you taught me. But thank you all for coming, and I know he will really be missed by so many people. I hope the people who knew him later, hold on, I know you loved him, but my God, I wish you could have known him 30 years ago when he was really fun, right? Yeah, it was really fun. But, all right, well, thank you if anyone else has anything.